Obviously, she is a princess, but she's quite a tomboy. She loves climbing trees and she's very much an adventurer.
Queen Camilla reportedly got pretty upset when she heard about Princess Charlotte wearing Princess Diana's old family tiara, the famous Spencer heirloom. Messy is an understatement when it comes to royal family dramas, especially when they involve the late Princess Diana. According to palace insiders, Camilla feels Charlotte is just too young to inherit such a legendary piece. Many believe Camilla's real issue is that the glittering headpiece forces everyone to remember Diana. Why is young Charlotte stuck right in the centre of this bitter royal tension? We are looking deep into the growing friction inside Buckingham Palace. A grand heirloom for a young royal Princess Charlotte is now set to inherit her grandmother's crown. That means Diana's famous Spencer Tiara, the iconic headpiece she wore to marry Prince Charles. While the sparkler belongs to Diana's own family, and not the Crown, reports claim Camilla is far from pleased about it. She is unhappy about Charlotte getting it. The Spencer Tiara has stayed with Diana's family for decades, famously chosen for her wedding day. Back in 1981, Diana's brother Earl Spencer keeps the piece safe at their estate. Even though Charlotte is still quite young, the family fully intends to hand down this incredibly meaningful piece of grandmotherly history. When she grows up, this makes perfect sense since Charlotte is Diana's only granddaughter, but the plan has reportedly caused major rifts. There is real disagreement in royal circles. The headpiece was crafted by Gard in 1930 using old family diamonds. Those gems belonged to the Spencers back then. Her sisters, Sarah and Jane, wore the piece too. For generations, the tiara has stayed close to the Spencer family, continuing to serve as a deeply meaningful wedding tradition. Charlotte, who is 8, is very excited about the tiara. An insider says she knows about her grandmother Diana. She has seen old photos of her wearing it. Like many little girls her age, Charlotte just loves playing dress-up. Playing with toy tiaras is her favourite hobby, so getting a real one is a dream. But not everyone shares this joy. While the family is happy, Camilla has serious concerns about these upcoming tiara plans. Not everyone is thrilled about Charlotte getting the heirloom. Reports suggest Camilla is not fully on board with the arrangement. Insiders claim she thinks the Spencer tiara should stay with Diana's direct bloodline or be shared among other younger relatives instead. It is no secret that Camilla is incredibly careful around anything connected to Diana, but she holds a very strong opinion here. She feels strongly about this specific jewellery. She is reportedly quite upset about being completely left out of the process. Given how messy the history between them truly was, most royal watchers assumed Camilla would avoid anything connected to Diana. Yet onlookers were shocked when Camilla actually stepped out wearing some of Diana's former personal jewellery. Now combine that with Charlotte inheriting Diana's tiara, and it is easy to see why palace tension is rising. Many call it a double standard. Camilla wears Diana's jewellery, but her own granddaughter cannot. It is a massive problem. Still, people find Camilla's objections quite hypocritical given her own massive collection of royal jewels. That collection includes an iconic piece once owned by the late princess, which Camilla was recently photographed wearing in public. Back in January 2022, Camilla sparked major controversy by wearing an old necklace of Diana's. She wore it as a brooch. It was a pretty bold move, and observers immediately noted this was no ordinary piece. Deep within Camilla's personal vault, there are several controversial items Charles bought her back when they were having their secret affair. Other items in her collection were once Diana's, but redesigning and wearing Diana's necklace really hit a nerve with royal fans. Let's be honest about why this brooch is so sensitive. Charles and Camilla's relationship famously began as an affair. It happened while he was still married to Diana. Even though they have been together for decades now, feelings run deep. Diana's loyal fans still give Camilla a hard time. The controversial brooch everyone is talking about was once a royal necklace. The piece was a gift to Diana from the Queen Mother, a stunning design featuring a green emerald and diamonds. Diana used to wear it as a choker. Jewellery expert Maxwell Stone broke down the history of the piece. According to his breakdown for Express UK, this isn't just about the jewellery. It is about what it represents. Here we have Camilla wearing jewellery belonging to the very woman whose marriage she helped to tear apart. No wonder people are furious. Even after all these decades, anything linking Camilla to Diana stirs up bitter old memories. What is the real story behind this royal drama that simply refuses to stay buried? The other woman, the relationship between Diana and Camilla, the two key figures in Charles's life, was incredibly complicated. You would expect a man to tell his new girlfriend that he used to date her close friend, right, not Charles. When he first introduced Diana and Camilla, he conveniently left out the details about his intimate romantic history with her. Penny Junor wrote in her book, The Duchess, that Diana only learned about Camilla and Charles's past history after she had already accepted Charles's proposal. But let's get one thing straight, Diana and Camilla never actually met at a restaurant called Ménage ATA. That was just a bit of fictional fun in the television show called The Crown, but their first real-life lunch date was incredibly tense and awkward. Andrew Morton's biography, Diana, Her True Story, revealed that this long meeting between the two women took place while Charles was away performing royal duties in Australia and New Zealand. Rumour has it Camilla was the one who invited Diana to get together so they could bond. But Diana immediately felt like something was off. She remembered Camilla constantly steering the conversation toward hunting, asking if Diana would join Charles on trips once they got married. Hunting definitely was not Diana's thing, so she said no. Apparently, the instant look of relief on Camilla's face made Diana highly suspicious. She realised Camilla wasn't just making friendly small talk, hunting was. Camilla and Charles's shared passion. It looked like Camilla planned to use those trips to keep seeing Charles even after he was married to Diana. Camilla tried to act friendly, but Diana later told a news outlet that she had always felt Camilla's presence lurking in the shadow of her marriage. It was blindingly obvious Charles still carried a torch for Camilla. When asked if Mrs. Parker Bowles was behind the breakdown of her marriage, Diana said, well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. Diana made it clear their relationship was always packed with 3 people trying to fit inside it. As the marriage dissolved, the bitter Diana and Camilla drama became a massive public spectacle that refused to be buried, forcing the public to choose a side. To this very day, it is not shocking that almost anyone who learns about this history fiercely supports the late Princess Diana over the Queen Consort. Even though she has been gone for over a decade, her incredible influence remains strong and her legacy lives on today. What is it that makes her so remarkably notable, the hog, beloved princess with a heart of gold? The late Princess Diana remains an immensely important figure, even though she tragically passed away back in 1997. News reports shocked the world. Diana was killed in a high-speed car crash alongside her companion Dodi Al-Fad and their chauffeur. Buckingham Palace quickly announced that funeral plans would follow. Decades later, people simply cannot forget how she insisted on doing things her own way, even when the royal family disapproved. She was far more than a princess. She was a deeply loving mother, a compassionate mentor, and a true style icon. Look around today and you will still see millions copying her legendary, unique fashion choices. Yet her real magic wasn't the grand royal title or those beautiful clothes. It was how completely genuine she was. She refused to play by the stuffy playbook, and that is why the public adored her. Even today, younger generations are discovering her life and realizing how deeply she shook up the entire establishment. Diana completely transformed how the monarchy connected with the public. She would openly hug strangers, chat warmly, and behave like an ordinary person. It was fresh, exciting, and people absolutely adored her. Back in the early 1980s, Diana privately opened up to Brian Peckford, the Premier of Newfoundland, about the immense personal challenges she was facing. She confessed to struggling deeply with the relentless pressures of her royal duties, but was slowly and steadily finding her footing. Still, as a prominent royal family member, Diana had to make endless public Appearances at local institutions like hospitals and busy schools, keeping up with standard royal tradition. But as the years passed, Diana grew far more genuinely devoted to charity work, expanding her public engagements by completing 191 events in 1988, almost doubling that to 397 by 1991. Her style of charity was unique, and she focused intensely on critical health issues that society chose to ignore, dedicating her time to misunderstood diseases like AIDS and leprosy. Her global influence was so profound that Stephen Lee, former head of the United Kingdom Institute of Charity Fundraising Managers, even suggested that Princess Diana might actually have been the single most significant charitable figure of the entire 20th century. Her natural ability to shine a bright spotlight on critical health crisis points and social struggles set her far apart from older generations of royals, building a new standard of genuine humanitarian engagement. As we reflect on her immense impact and how she completely modernized the British monarchy, one burning question remains: how does her lasting influence still shape the royal family today, and who will carry her bold legacy forward? She was the royal rebel who changed the crown forever. Despite her intense marriage problems and messy public scandals, Diana maintained incredibly high popularity, while Charles constantly struggled to win public approval. Her former private secretary Patrick Jepson described her as highly organised and hard-working, suggesting that Charles simply could not handle her extraordinary magnetic public appeal. Diana was also quite demanding as a boss. She deeply valued people who worked hard, and she spoke up whenever she felt she was treated unfairly. Her mother noted she was loving but quite moody. At times, above all else, Diana was fiercely focused on being an outstanding parent, and you can see so much of her. Her vibrant personality shaped exactly how William and Harry turned out. Even today, the younger generation of royals tries to copy Diana, which keeps her memory alive. She was much more than a fashion icon. She actively changed how the entire world dresses. In 2012, Time magazine officially named her one of their top fashion icons of all time. Whenever she wore something, people immediately rushed to buy it. Take 1980, when she wore hunter rain boots at Balmoral. The company could barely keep up with the massive flood of orders that came in. Time magazine later recognized this incredible influence by including her in their all-time 100 fashion icons list in 2012. The designers who dressed Diana and worked closely with her said she selected every single outfit carefully to support her charity work and reveal who she truly was behind the scenes. She knew her clothes spoke volumes, and she used them to loudly champion the values of love, equality, deep fairness, and true justice. She was not just a simple style icon or a wild royal rebel. She was a true trailblazer who completely reshaped what it meant to be royal. Let us look at how she still shakes things up today. Inspiration or royal? Drama. Kate and Meghan are very much like Diana when it comes to making the stiff royal family seem more human and real. Their constant charity work and warm interactions with the public also help everyday people feel much closer to the royals. But while Kate and Meghan definitely carve out their own paths, you can tell they learned from how Diana operated. Even today, people still fight over who should rightfully inherit Diana's personal jewellery. While her priceless pieces were meant to stay inside the family, deciding who gets what has caused serious tension. Kate now wears Diana's famous blue sapphire ring, but heated debates still linger over her other pieces like the historic Spencer Tiara. The true problem is not just who inherits her jewellery, but who is wearing those pieces right now. Many believe her stunning jewellery should strictly go directly to her sons William and Harry, or her grandchildren. Yet Camilla wears quite a few select pieces from Diana's private collection, seemingly unbothered that so many people are deeply upset by it. When Camilla wears Diana's iconic jewellery, it highlights a deep rift between those wanting to keep Diana's memory alive and others who insist it is time to move on. Some believe it is only natural for royal jewellery to be passed down through the generations. Others view it as proof the family still fails to handle Diana's legacy the right way. While Diana's powerful legacy is carefully respected by some and completely trampled by others, an even bigger issue is brewing. What dark controversy is lurking right beneath the surface of these palace walls, crowns, major conflicts, and bitter controversy there is a fascinating story about why Kate could not wear Diana's actual wedding tiara back in 2011. We know that the Spencer Tiara was not a royal piece, it belonged to Diana's family. Today that tiara is valued around $400 million, and the most intriguing part is that the Spencers still own it. They made it completely clear that Kate could not wear it despite marrying Diana's eldest son. Even little Charlotte, Diana's own direct granddaughter, is blocked from inheriting this legendary Spencer tiara. It remains strictly within Diana's birth family, likely headed to one of her young nieces or cousins. Instead, all this chaos over the family jewellery is not really about the money. It is about the deep emotional weight they carry. It is absolutely no surprise that since Camilla always seems to be right in the middle of this ongoing drama and controversy, she is far from being the favourite member of the royal family. In fact, cold numbers prove Camilla has a major popularity. Crisis, a Daily Mail poll revealed that only 14% of the public support calling her Queen Camilla. Over a third want to stick with Queen Consort Camilla, and check this out, nearly a quarter believe she should not hold any royal title at all. Even her former title, Duchess of Cornwall, polls better at 16%. This is a clear sign people are not loving her new role. The hard facts are obvious. Camilla is still desperately struggling to win folks over when only 14% support her title. That is a serious problem. Let us examine the other main reasons why the public is still having a tough time accepting Camilla as queen. From Duchess to Queen, born in 1947 as Camilla Shand, she grew up in East Sussex and South Kensington, attending top schools in England, Switzerland and France. She first married Andrew Parker Bowles back in 1973, but everyone suspected the real truth. She and Charles had an ongoing affair long before and during both their marriages. The media simply could not get enough of it, and spectators all over the globe watched this drama unfold. After divorcing Parker Bowles in 1995, she married Charles in 2005 at the Windsor Guild Hall, followed by a prayer service at St. George's Chapel. She then became the Duchess of Cornwall until everything changed on September 8th, 2022. A few moments ago, Buckingham Palace officially announced the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. When Queen Elizabeth died, Charles instantly became king and Camilla became queen consort. Their grand coronation was held at Westminster Abbey on May 6, 2023. Since 1994, Camilla has done real. In her work, she turned osteoporosis awareness into her signature cause-winning major awards, while tackling dark, heavy issues like sexual assault literacy, animal rights, and poverty. Today, as Queen, she is constantly out at public events representing the Crown. She serves as patron to dozens of charities, a massive leap from those early days when people only knew her as Prince Charles's side chick. Right, but it is no surprise she was born into high society. She grew up a total bookworm because her dad read to her constantly. Her idyllic childhood was packed with pets, stable yards, and days riding horses and winning ribbons at local shows. Camilla often says her upbringing was totally average. But let's be real, this was high society luxury. Her biographer Giles Brander points out that people often described her life as an Enid Blyton storybook. But it was far more privileged than that. The Shand family was not just wealthy, they were old money aristocracy. They had staff for everything, the estate, the gardens, the children. These were the kind of elite who hosted massive Conservative Party garden parties. Camilla's story is anything but typical. She grew up extremely wealthy, then gained notoriety as the other woman. How did someone so deeply disliked by the public manage to climb her way to the crown? Let's settle the truth once and for all about how Charles and Camilla actually met. It was mid-1971 at the home of their mutual friend, Lucia Santa Cruz. They hit it off instantly. Very quickly they began spending all their time together, starting as close friends, before transitioning into romance. Everyone in their circle knew they were together. It got so serious that Charles even went to meet her family in Plumpton while she was introduced to his relatives. Still, most royal experts knew Charles could never get permission to marry Camilla back then. Even his cousin, Patricia Knatchbull, admitted that the palace did not view her as suitable for that role. Decades later, in 2005, she admitted they were perfect for each other, but back then it was impossible to happen. On February 10th, 2005, they got engaged. He gave her an absolute stunner of a ring, featuring a massive square-cut diamond, flanked by 3 smaller baguettes. But here is the tricky part. As the future head of the Church of England, marrying a divorced woman was incredibly controversial. Still, they eventually got the green light from everyone who mattered: the Queen, the government, and the Church. Queen Elizabeth did not waste any time, showing everyone Camilla was officially in. Within 2 years, she gifted her the Greville tiara, the Queen Mother's old piece. She also gave her the Royal Family Order. This was Elizabeth's ultimate way of signalling that Camilla was finally one of them. A pretty big deal for someone. The palace refused to let Charles marry back in the day. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, Camilla became Queen Consort on September 8, 2022, as Charles became King Charles III. In his first speech to the nation, the king spoke incredibly warmly about Camilla, praising her loyalty and her deep commitment to her royal duties. It was a massive historic shift for Camilla, who had spent decades as the most hated woman in the royal family. Her long journey from being Prince Charles's hidden partner to Queen Consort was incredibly complex and relentlessly scrutinized. Yet, in that historic moment, she stood firmly by her husband's side, playing an active role in the royal transition. The old drama surrounding Camilla's crown is quickly fading. These days, the public is much more fascinated by the younger royal generation, especially Princess Charlotte, who has been grabbing a lot of attention recently. So, who exactly is William and Kate's only daughter, and why is she capturing such global interest? Meet the rising star of the royal family. Charlotte was born on May 2nd, 2015 at St Mary's Hospital in London. A massive announcement from Buckingham Palace had royal watchers thrilled. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were indeed expecting their second child. When William and Kate welcomed her during Queen Elizabeth's reign, the entire city celebrated her birth in grand style, setting off massive gun salutes and lighting up London's historic buildings in bright pink. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were absolutely delighted to announce they had named their daughter Charlotte Elizabeth Diana. Just 2 days later, they announced her name. Each part was incredibly special. Charlotte honoured her grandfather Charles. Elizabeth was for her great-grandmother, and Diana honoured her late grandmother. Her christening took place at St. Mary Magdalene Church in Sandringham, with Archbishop Justin Welby performing the ceremony. Charlotte spent her earliest years living in Norfolk at Anmer Hall. In 2017, the family relocated to Kensington Palace. She first attended Wilcox's nursery school, before joining her older brother George at Thomas's school in Battersea, where classmates simply called her Charlotte Cambridge. The next big transition arrived in 2022 when the family relocated to Adelaide Cottage in Windsor. All 3 children, George, Charlotte and Louis, switched schools to Lambrook, an exclusive prep school in Berkshire, when Queen Elizabeth died that September. In 2022, Charlotte moved to 3rd in the line. Now she sometimes joins these royal events alongside her parents and brothers, visiting foreign diplomats to learn how the system works. Just imagine being only 8 years old and already knowing deep down that you might become queen one day. That is Charlotte's reality. Though William and Kate protect her people, still go wild over every single new photo or appearance of Charlotte. She is already a huge influence on children's fashion. Parents rush to buy whatever she wears. That is why experts say she will bring £3.6 billion to Britain's economy over her lifetime. Quite wild that an 8-year-old can impact shopping this much. Even now, Charlotte shows signs of Diana's way with people. As she grows older, she will face the same royal rules and drama her grandmother did. You see it now, with all the tiara drama, but Charlotte seems ready. That makes watching her grow up so fascinating. She is writing her own chapter in the royal story, doing it her grandmother's way. What do you think about all this endless royal family drama? Will Charlotte actually get the historic tiara in the end? And can Camilla and William ever truly get past their division over Diana's memory? Share your thoughts below and remember to like and subscribe for more updates. Also, click the next video on your screen right now. We know you will enjoy it.